So when I was in 6th grade, I got bucked off of a horse that I was riding. I never returned to a horse. So I had this fear. And Katie and Casio, we were led to his ranch. It was an amazing hike through the river. It was just, once again, opening up. I mean, there were parrots, macaws flying, and just the whole experience of traveling to the Mustangs. And then we get there, and Casio he does this call. And he calls to the horses, and here they come. And me having this fear, I was a little taken aback, but the horses themselves made me feel comfortable. And they slowly came up to us, and even they were sniffing my eyes. They were like coming close to me. They were like just standing there looking at me. And it was definitely a spiritual experience. And so I really see the validity of equine therapy.
And using horses because their communication is nonverbal.
Yeah.
And so it allows people to really be in the present moment. Because if you are around 1,000-pound animal, you need to be present.
Yeah, it becomes a meditation.
But you need to be present because they are unpredictable and so on. But if you can get through that process, and we just give you a little exercise to do with a few little props with the horses, it gives you confidence. If you can move a horse, a wild horse, in this way, it's very therapeutic. I do it with veterans as well with their PTSD. And a lot of people have trauma. They don't have to be veterans.
Yeah.
And it's definitely experiential. It's all done on the ground. There's no wrong way to do it. You do not have to be a horse whisperer or have any experience doing it.
Let me ask you this, Katie. So for the retreat, will you be offering equine therapy for private and group? Is that something that they'll be able to have options?
Yeah, you can have an individual session with yourself and the herd, or we'll do a group session. So either one, and it's done away from the accommodations. So we walk down this path along the river, and we find a round pen, and we have the horses in there. And the horses are allowed to just be themselves. They don't have saddles and bridles, and they are just allowed to be.
So there's no prerequisite. Like they don't have to.
The horses
have
they don't
experience
have
with. Like me, I hadn't been on a horse or even by a horse for a long time. And it was such a gentle, like beautiful experience for me. So if this is something they're curious about, that you guys are curious about for our retreat, there's no prerequisite.
No.
Okay.
No, there's not.
Yeah. And what has been your experience dealing with people with trauma and pain that has deposited? What is your experience as far as how the horse can help heal in that way?
Well, first of all, doing any type of therapy where you're moving your body, you're not just sitting in an office talking about your feelings, because that's very restrictive for a lot of people. But the fact that you are moving a horse, and it's a mindfulness exercise for sure. So they get in touch with their bodies. They have to, because you've got this wild horse in your face, and it's like, okay. And the only thing I'm going to do is guide them and say, so what's that like? Because it's not my experience, it's theirs. So this is definitely experiential. It's their experience. We are there to make sure that there's safety and that we guide them. That's it.
Yeah.
And it's no walk, trot, or canter for the horse. He doesn't have to perform or prance around. He just gets to be.
That's beautiful. Katie, what's your experience? Like, how far back do you go with your...
With horses?
Yes, with horses.
Well, I was raised with horses. My dad was a county sheriff and he was a cowboy, so I was definitely raised with them. But I didn't get my own horses until adulthood. And when I became a psychotherapist, when I was in grad school, I heard about this modality and I went, I was like, that's what I want to do, because I want to be outdoors. I want to be with horses, and I know how healing they are. And then I started working with veterans and saw what a difference it made with veterans. It's nothing short of a miracle with people who've had trauma. And again, they just have to experience it, and you will see the magic of it.